Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Rotor Talk Live Season 2, Episode 48. And boy, do we have a jam-packed show tonight. Marcus, how are you on this Tuesday evening?
Very good. I kind of just beat the winter storm and got in
Uh-oh.
a couple really good flights today with the Mini. So, as a friend of mine would say, it was a great day to fly.
It was a great day to fly.
Uh,
Absolutely. Well, that is fantastic. I want to there is Mr. Ron Brown. Mr. Ron Brown, how are you this evening?
Good evening. Sorry I'm late. I was busy pre-ordering my Autel Evo II.
All right. Well, I'm glad you're in line. You beat us. Marcus and I didn't hit the buy button yet.
Oh, it's issues already. It only has 8K video.
I know.
I know you probably need 10K. Actually, it keeps doubled, right? It'll be 16K next. But sorry to interrupt the show. You were probably doing a great introduction.
Well, Marcus was just saying how he took advantage of his nice weather today because the weather's turning for him up there. How about your weather, Ron?
Well, we had a good day here too. And guess what, Bill? I flew 4 drones today.
Oh, wow.
Have you ever flown 4 drones in one day?
I've flown 3 in one day. I haven't done 4. I think that's what do you say, Marcus? How about you?
I'd have to think about that. I know, like you said, I know I've flown 3. I'm not sure about 4.
Wow.
Well, let me restate that, Bill. What's to say 3.5? Because one of them was the Snaptane SP500. That only counts as half a drone.
It counts as half.
Yeah. But we flew. You probably know the other drones. We flew. You've heard of the Mavic Mini. It's a new drone by DJI, right?
Really?
Yeah.
I bet that's going to sell real well.
I think it go like hotcakes. And I flew an older DJI drone you probably heard of, the DJI Spark.
The Spark?
You remember the Spark?
Marcus, you remember the Spark, don't you?
The Spark. Yeah, I think I've got one of those laying around someplace.
And then I flew one other one. You may have not heard of it, but they have their own channel. I hear it's pretty good. I flew the Zino. They have their own channel. You guys may have heard of them.
What about there's that channel called ZinoNation?
Yeah, it's a couple guys do a show over there. Those guys aren't bad,
Yeah, they're pretty good.
They're not too bad.
I'm kind of partial to them. I think they do a good job. I really like their vice president. I think he's a real stand-up guy there. That's for sure.
He should probably run for real president one of these days.
Oh, absolutely. All right. Let's see. 3X Drones is in the house. Steve Mack is in the house. Art's in the house with a lot of snow because I already looked in Denver. You're really getting piled on. John Magallone, Ted Bowman, Steve Matt. True Drone Reviews. Brian's in the house. Matthew Cundiff, 3X Drones. Welcome. Drone Masters here. We got a full house tonight. We have so much to talk about tonight. I mean, it's just absolutely jam-packed. We're just I just can't get let me get my tongue.
Where do you even start, Bill?
I know that's it. Where do I even start? Well, I'm going to start with the news of the day. Now, the news of the day is the Autel Evo II just wasn't. It didn't make a slight appearance. It made a tremendous appearance today. Okay, and I'm going to take a look. We're going to go ahead and look at several things here. First, we're going to look at the FCC Grant ID Database. Now, as you guys know, that's one of my go-to. Let's go ahead and share here. Okay, that's one of my go-to sources. And here we are. You can see there's a lot of information, but where you really need to focus in on are these exhibits. Now, what's interesting is you see over here with the documents. Now, most of these, when you see this for DJI, for example, when the Mavic Mini was up there, a lot of this you couldn't get to. Now, for instance, guess what? It said user manual. So we'll go ahead and we'll click on this. No, that's my.
I've been poring over that user manual, Bill. That's some good reading.
And here's the user manual right here. All right. Now, one of the things that I want to call your attention to, and we're gonna go over this in detail. Now, I mean, this is the whole thing. I mean, they didn't, I guess for copyright purposes, they couldn't put the cover page on here. But I mean, this tells you about the app, the aircraft, you know, where the USB ports are, where the SD cards are, the sensors on here, flashing. It's
Bill,
all
did you
here, and
say,
I'm
did you say SD cards as
SD card.
plural?
I didn't say. I did not say plural, Ron.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Just checking. Just checking.
And you know, and here's the real interesting part here. Okay.
Yeah.
Now I saw today. I saw this and I was like shaking my head and I couldn't believe it. And there's going to be 3 user changeable gimbal modules for the Evo 2. It's called 586 gimbal, provides an 8K video camera. A 383 gimbal provides a 6K camera with a 1-inch sensor. And a dual sensor gimbal provides an infrared camera and an 8K video camera. I'm going to stop right here, gentlemen. I'd like to get your thoughts on this.
Hey, Bill. So I was reading this with great interest earlier today. And so if I'm reading this correctly, it sounds like the 8K camera does not have a 1-inch sensor and the 6K camera does. So very possibly the 6K camera may be the best camera of the 3. And I noticed in the dual sensor, they have the 8K with the infrared, which tells me it's a smaller camera. What do you think?
Yeah, I would have a tendency to agree. Now, one of the things that I wanted to talk to both of you guys and get your opinions on, okay, what computer can go ahead and process 8K or 6K video?
I
Well,
just
Bill-
ordered one of those thread rippers.
Yeah, Bill, what I can tell you is my computer won't. So if I go ahead and complete the pre-order of this, I will need to start a GoFundMe so I can get the computer that'll edit this video.
Yeah, I mean that's where we're at. Now I'm going to go ahead. We'll throw. There's a good article from Kestelou from Drone DJ, and these are the pictures that are embedded in the FCC Grand ID database because they always use the tape measure here. But looking at the front, this one looking from the front, it looks very similar to the Mavic. Okay, the way the sensors are in the front, and I'm assuming that that's probably a stock camera module. What comes with it, probably the 4K 61-inch is just that's just a guess off the top of my head as far as that's concerned. And then you can see down here, you know, as we saw before, all the different sensors, where they're at. And again, I'll have, now here's real interesting. I wanted to stop and talk about this with you guys too. Binocular vision sensing systems. Okay. This is real interesting because it's giving you the actual range in which, the sensors actually work. And I haven't seen that information. I could be wrong. I'm sure DJI publishes it somewhere. It's probably buried, but I mean, this is right out there. And this is pretty interesting because, you know, the bottom of the aircraft is 20 meters. The front of the aircraft is 20. The tail is 16, left and right, 10 meters on each side. And the top is 10 meters. So, I mean, you're getting real 360 protection on this, guys.
I mean, the key question is, does it work or whatever if you're flying at top speed?
Right.
Yeah, that's the key question
in sport mode. Now, here's the one thing that I wanted to ask you guys about too. Okay. Now, this has been in a number of places. This operating distance of 16 miles. What do you guys think about that?
Well, not only that, the 35-minute flight time and 44-mile-an-hour top speed, all of them are amazing.
Yeah, that's
Bill, is that 16 miles? Is that within a visual line of sight?
I believe that would be beyond visual line of sight, Ron.
No. What you guys are forgetting is the thing is bright orange. No, you'll be able to see it.
16 miles away. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bill, you got the eagle, somebody with eagle eyes or whatever, as we used to say when we were kids.
Over the curvature of the earth.
No.
So right off, before you go on, Bill, so right now that 35 minutes flight time, that tops the current Mavic 2.
Yes.
Top speed is about the same as the Mavic 2. And of course, the operating distance tops the Mavic 2. So this wins 2 out of 3 of these top things and probably ties the speed. What's the Mavic 2? I'm thinking the Mavic 2 does 45. Is that right?
Yeah, I think I've had mine up to almost 45, not quite.
I was going to say, I think the specs say 46, if I'm not sure.
Okay.
I think I've read that somewhere
But
before.
we'll call the speed a tie then with the Mavic.
Yeah, I would say that would be a tie. Let's go ahead. That's a picture of the bottom of the aircraft right here. And there's a picture on the top showing the sensors in the back. I mean, sensor placement looks a lot like the Mavic 2. Seeing the rear sensors right here, the sensors on the bottom of the aircraft. And then I know there's a side picture. I'm not sure if it's here. It's probably, is that it? No, that's not it. But I know there was a side picture showing the side sensors as well. So, one of the things, well, also to remote controller with OLED screen built in. Now, that's one of the things I think Autel did real well, was have that built-in screen with the Evo, and they're continuing it here.
Kind of like a smart controller.
Yeah, exactly. Kind of like a smart controller. It's all built in. And this is a huge selling feature for a lot of people, the no geofencing.
Hey,
Right
so
there.
the one that really caught my eye, though, guys, was that Starpoint positioning system.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and smart tracking underneath it. Now,
And the short charging time, 90-minute charge time.
90-minute charge time. That's good eye, Ron. Yeah, that's, we're seeing a lot here with this. Okay. A lot of things stand out about this, and they're already talking about price. I mean, it's not even out in release date. Now, you won't see this until next year. I can just about guarantee you that right now. For them to have come out with this, seeing the FCC Grant ID database, what is it, 3 days before Black Friday? We're not going to see it this year. Okay.
Could it be at the big show in Las Vegas in January?
Yeah, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, I didn't watch all of Ken's video today, but I know he went out. I know he talked to Autel, and he probably has some more info on this. And I would think that he might have already seen it. I don't know. But my guess is I think it will probably premiere at the show in Vegas in January, because that's when that show is. Now that's a huge show. I mean, I've talked to a lot of people, and they said as far as shows goes, that's just ginormous. I talked to Billy Kyle about it, and he said he's never been so tired in his life of walking. Okay, because that's all you really do is walk between exhibits. And what's nice is all the drones are generally in one area. He said Unique was in another building, but pretty much everybody else was in one building. As far as that's concerned. I want to welcome some other people. Mike Kinney's in the house. DeMarco's here. Welcome. Keith Washington. Welcome. Let's see. Gerald Farms, Terry Starks, PR Matthews. Okay. Geeks Vania.
Hey, hold it, Bill. You forgot one big one.
Kolsky
RC is in the house.
RC.
Kolsky's in the house.
I know this is an effort for you, because you're probably right around 2 a.m. in the morning, your time over there, but
Kolsky's burning midnight oil.
he must be, and we really appreciate your showing up here for this. Okay. Takeoff weight 1,000 grams. Has gesture commands with this.
Well, all drone users love gestures, right, Bill?
Oh my gosh, yes. How about the Spark? I tell you what.
I had a drone user give me a gesture yesterday.
Oh, we probably don't. We probably can see that off air.
Okay.
Yeah. But that was one of the things that was really frustrating about the Spark, was those gesture commands. Oh my gosh, I'd never. I actually did a blooper video, and it was mostly from trying to get the Spark to do those gesture commands, because it was it was hilarious. It was absolutely hilarious. Both Valerie and I. You go back in my library and take a look at it. We had a blast doing it.
And Bill, I'm a big believer in drones should do what's advertised to do, but I would have bought the Spark regardless of whether it had the gestures or not or whatever.
Oh, I agree, Ron. I liked. I like the portability factor of the Spark. That's the reason. That's the big thing for me. That's what just instantly attracted me to the Spark. And the thing about the Evo, for me, the Evo II especially, I think Autel has really done their homework. I think they've learned a lot off the original Evo. And I think everything where they could improve, they have improved. We're seeing the sensors, all the 360 sensors all around. 3 interchangeable camera modules. Okay. That's fantastic. Okay. That's talking like Inspire 2, Inspire 1, Inspire 2 kind of a thing. No other DJI drone has changeable camera modules except when you get to the Inspire and above. Okay. So that's a great thing. And I think, it gives you a lot of options as far as that's concerned. The charging time with this. My thing is with Autel, and I'm hoping that they learned their lesson from when they did the Evo before. Now, if you guys remember, this information that we saw today came out on the original Autel Evo in February of, what was it, 2017, I think. Yeah.
Or 2018.
2018. Thank
Yeah,
you, Ron.
yeah.
It came out in February 2000, but the drone wasn't released until June that year. Okay. And there was a lot of weeping and gnashing of teeth from Evo customers. A lot of people had put down a lot of money with, drone stores and waiting for it to come. And it took forever. Okay. And then it took forever to get, accessories out. I know Original Dobo was saying it took him forever to be able to order spare batteries in cases and things like that. So I'm hoping that they actually learned their lesson here.
Bill, I'm glad you brought that up. Can I ask a question? Are you ready for a Bill the Drone Review question and answer session? Put you in the hot seat here. Okay, when we're 2008 CES, they announced the Autel Evo. They get everybody excited, right?
Right.
Okay, and they had an 8-month head start on DJI with the Mavic 2 to get this thing out and get people all invested in it, right?
Right.
So you're right. It doesn't really come out until June, and even then, it's hard to get. So even people that really want it really didn't get in their hands until July, right? So they only get a month ahead of the Mavic 2, correct?
Correct.
And then the Mavic 2 comes out, and it trumps it in almost every way, except the 60 frames per second. And I may be overstating, but anyhow, they come out, and so they get this product out, and it's barely out, and they get something that pushes it back again. So my question to you is, the Evo 2, can they get it out soon enough that they get a jump on DJI? And is this Evo 2 enough of an advancement that when the Mavic 2 launches, it doesn't put it in second place right out of the chute?
Okay, now I'm hearing, and let's from what I hear, the Mavic 3 it's still going to be in first quarter, but it's going to be delayed. And the reason it's going to be delayed is the Mavic 2 is still selling very well. Okay. Now I know there's some great Black Friday deals on the Mavic 2, and you guys want to check those out. I know Ron has links out on his channel. Marcus does as well. I do as well. Definitely check those out. And guys, if you know what an affiliate link is, it helps us. It helps the channel. So go to Ron's channel, go to Marcus's channel, go to mine, whichever one you want. We don't care. It helps us all out. That's number one. So it's going to kind of push the Mavic 3 back a little bit from what I'm hearing. It's going to be later in the first quarter. And if Autel is smart here, they're going to go ahead and get it out there as soon as they can. I would say in January would be absolutely ideal. Now, it's not ideal as far as North American weather is concerned because, up north, it's going to be cold and not really amicable to flying. But, further south it will, and there'll be enough people to get these drones out. One of the other things that I wanted to bring up too, and I think this is an important point, I think their timing could not be better because they're riding also on the goodwill of an American drone company, Skydio, because Autel really basically, even though they're made and assembled over in China, their headquarters is up near Seattle. So they're really technically an American drone company. So, riding on the coattails of Skydio, I think this is kind of a good thing for them. Okay. Because it's going to help pick up some momentum. I mean, everything lit up like a Christmas tree when I saw this today. Okay. And a lot of things, it's like all the puzzle pieces fell into place here. Okay. With, the Skydio coming out and all the great goodwill that's been generated by that. And with talk of the Mavic 3 coming next year, what better time for Autel to introduce a new series of a new Evo, the Evo 2, with some absolutely killer specs.
So here's the problem with the whole thing is I had to visit my banker this afternoon and take out a second mortgage. so I can afford all these new drones coming out. But here's what my concern is about the Evo is, okay, are they going to be just like what Ron described? Are they going to be playing second fiddle again? I mean, I understand their cameras are going to be, they're going to have 8K and 6K, whether we want it or not. But then right on their heels, whenever they bring it out, DJI is going to be back out with the Mavic 3, which, it's just like everything else that DJI builds. They're going to put features in there that we don't even know we want yet, and that'll blow our mind. So what does this drone have, this Evo 2 have, that the current Mavic 2 Pro does not, other than camera, right? 360 obstacle avoidance, all that stuff. It's already on the Mavic 2. The range is better, and the flight time is marginally better. But beyond that, I'm just wondering, okay, what is the big home run that it's bringing to the table that is going to get people to buy it?
Well, I want to touch on that, Marcus. I think one of the other things, I think the stock camera, I think it's going to do 4K. I think you're going to have 60 frames per second, and I think it's going to have a 1-inch sensor with the camera that comes on the unit itself. So that is something that I would say top the Mavic 2 as we speak here. And the other thing is the option to be able to interchange these cameras. Now, one of the things that DJI promised, and I was at the event and I heard this with my own ears, and I've talked to Billy about it, I've talked to Ken about it, and I've asked them, I said, you guys heard them say, for a fee, we'll swap out, if you want to zoom, if you have a zoom and you want the pro camera, if you have a pro and you want the zoom camera, we'll do that for a fee. They said that there. DJI's never said a word about that. Okay. Not one word. Okay. And that's one of the things here that I think I really like this option here for the Evo, especially let's say they price it. And I'm just throwing a number out here, guys. This is just off the top of my head. Let's say for the base model, okay, it's $11.99. All right. And that includes a 4K 60 camera. All right. And these camera options, my guess is we're looking probably $500+ for these camera options. That's what I'm saying, especially with like thermal imaging, that kind of stuff. All right. Let's say, these are going to be, these could target, especially with thermal imaging, if it's good, that could go to like search and rescue and first responders kind of a thing. All right. And with the sharpness of this 8K camera, I mean, maybe it's geared for agricultural. I don't know, because I don't know anything about 8K. Okay. I've heard about 6K. I haven't seen anything about 8K. So, the sky's kind of wide open. And I think they're going a little bit ahead of the curve as far as that's concerned, as far as these cameras. So I think they've got a winning package here. I'm very excited. I'm more excited about this than the original Autel Evo.
So, Bill, should I go ahead and cancel my order on my? Help me out here.
On your Skydio 2.
My Skydio 2 and save the money for the Autel Evo 2.
Do both.
That's a Cardano answer.
You could sell that. You could sell your spot for the Skydio 2 easy enough. I guarantee you.
Especially if I have the email in hand.
Yeah.
Speaking of emails, did anybody get a nice email today?
Let me check.
What they sent out this day? Yeah, West Coast.
We're going to segue here in just a second to this, Ron. I want to wrap up.
I jumped the gun.
No. That's okay. Lon kind of echoed a lot of what Marcus said. The original Evo was slightly better than the Mavic Pro. Now they're going to make the Evo 2 slightly better than the 2-year-old Mavic 2 Pro. It's crazy. Yeah, Lon, I do agree with that, but I think the thing here with this, there's a couple of things here. Riding on the coattails of Skydio, I think this is going to be great for Autel. And Autel's in a better position to mass produce these drones. Remember, these are made over in China. They're not made here in the United States. They're made on an assembly line. So they'll be able to crank these out a lot faster than the Skydio will. And the other thing is this interchangeable camera module, something that, has been talked about for a long time on more consumer-oriented drones. And this is the first time we're seeing that. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and we're going to kind of switch gears here. I got a picture up here that I want to show.
Hey, while you're
everyone.
doing that, Bill, I want to add one more point. Go ahead and do what you're doing, but I'm going to say that we all better buy a bunch more hard drives because if we're doing 8K and 6K, we're going to need tons of storage.
Well,
yeah, and of course you can all you'll be able to just turn it down to 4K and keep your same workflow you've always had, and then but we're so far away from an 8K world. I mean, like,
oh
we
yeah,
aren't even standardized on 4K yet, let alone to go to 6 or 8K or whatever. And back to the whole thing. If you make this beautiful 8K drone video, who's watching your content in 8K on their screens or whatever? This is,
The people at Best Buy on their display TV that they have up there, Ron.
That's the only place that your 8K video is going to be seen in its full resolution. So
Yeah.
I'm all for better cameras or whatever, but and I know that you want to be ahead of the game, but unless Autel doesn't plan to release a new drone in the next 5 years, I mean, they're way ahead of the 6 or 8K game.
Well, Larry Boggs brought up a great point. Maybe the 8K would be good for 3D mapping. That's something that it could be a possibility.
It may be an enterprise thing. You're right, and it'll be great that they have that option to add on. But the key is they need again be all ready for enterprise and have everything the enterprise people want. But you have to make a model that's affordable and what the mass consumer wants. That has to be the key unit in the line. I mean, unless you're just going to be an enterprise company. I mean, have the enterprise stuff, but you have to make that one drone that has the price and the specs, again, that your mass market seeks.
All right. Skydio 2. Take a look.
Here it is.
A lot of people received this in an email. It said, ready for takeoff. Your Skydio 2 is ready to ship. Follow the link to add accessories and complete your balance payment. So, Marcus,
you say a lot of people, not enough people, according to me, Bill.
Well, a lot, yeah, not enough, yeah, and I agree. And I reached out to Skydio support. Now I've realized they were kind of swamped, and I did get a reply back from them today. I don't have that up on the screen, but basically, they're saying, that you're not in queue yet as far as that, but we're working fast on it. And and remember, this is going to be a short week. In other words, when the holiday hits, all right, after tomorrow, that's it. Okay, they'll be shut down Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. You probably won't see any more emails, I would imagine, until Monday. The email also mentioned that as soon as they are producing drones, they are being emails are being sent out. So apparently that's how this is working. And the other thing is, there's been a lot of talk about what order this has been in. And I imagine their order numbers that we received were done in the order that, as they came in. So, beginning with 6 and whatever that was, now I talked to David from Kluge Tech Time, and he was one of the first ones out there to get his. And I know Ken Dono was the same way. He went out there right away, ordered his. So, a lot of people. Now, I asked David to let me know when he's got his shipping notice. He hasn't even gotten a shipping notice yet. So, and I think this is where I think we're going to see a little bit of kinks in the armor with Skydio 2. Now, if you guys, and I know Ron's seen the video, I'm pretty sure Marcus has, where they're going through the warehouse, okay, or they're going through where their assembly line is, and you realize, this isn't a really big operation here, number one. And number two, there wasn't anybody working there. I mean, that just kind of blew me away. All right. And maybe they did it because they didn't want the drone flying over people while they were working. I don't know. But be that as it may, things are going to happen slower with Skydio than I think we realize. All right. I don't think, number one, and I know Marcus has talked about this, and I think Ron would agree here. I think they definitely underestimated how popular this drone was going to be. What do you think, guys?
No question about it. Yeah. I mean, that's, like I said, my biggest hope is that their angel investors are out there automating a production line right now. But yeah, I think they definitely got overwhelmed.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I mean, they had to base some of this on the response they saw from the Skydio one, which of course was somebody said that was like that the first Tesla, whatever, it was just an experimental thing. But they just underestimated the fact that when you add a controller to a drone that didn't have a controller, I mean, it just makes a world of difference out there in the market. I mean, it's like these drone companies don't understand. I mean, from toy companies all the way up, no hardcore drone user wants a drone that doesn't come with a controller. Is that as Bill likes to say, is that pretty much spot on?
Yeah, and here's the thing, and we talked about this the other night. We're seeing the Pro package for $1,500, and we're all kind of initially thinking, oh, that includes the drone, the batteries, the case, and all that. No, it's $1,500 additional above and beyond the $999 for the Skydio 2. And I mean, okay, that's $2,500. I mean, that's like gulp. Okay, that's a really, really, really hard pill to swallow as far as paying for that. Now, you're getting an awful lot, but think about what you're getting with that. I mean, 4 batteries. All right, you're getting a case that's going to fit all this. I think you're getting the controller. You're getting
both controllers.
Yeah, you're getting both of the controllers. I think something about, did I see prop guards in there or something? And then they have
a tablet holder,
and then also that 2 battery charger, and it
right.
charges. I mean, it's just a regular series charger. Just it's just for 2 of them. And if you price all that up, I mean, I don't know.
It comes to about $1,100 if you price up individually. So
plus there's
you're mostly paying
warranty.
all that money to get that warranty.
Yeah.
That 2-year warranty.
That 2-year warranty from them. I mean, that's a good selling point. And here's the other thing, with the warranty here. Okay. Now we've seen them with Skydio 1. In Skydio 1, I don't want to call it a failure, but it wasn't a consumer drone. Okay. It didn't reach out to regular consumers.
It was more a proof of concept than it ever was intended to be a big hit drone.
Absolutely. Ron just nailed it right there. It was a proof of concept, something that they wanted to get out there and show we can do this technology. Okay. We can make it work. And they've taken it up a step with Skydio 2, and they've done a great job with Skydio 2. And what's real interesting here, and this is something else I wanted to talk about with you guys, all right, is it's real interesting who they picked to test Skydio 2. Okay. You didn't see Rick Smith or Kelly Shores get these drones to test. Okay. You're seeing what's his name? Kurt Watt. Was it Kurt?
Kyle
Warner.
Kyle Warner getting them, and other people getting them, who are like maybe mountain bikers,
motorcycle
riders, that kind of thing, wanting some action shots with that, which is very understandable. And, a lot of what, that drone is does very well with that. But realize too, when it gets into our hands, it's going to be a totally different experience. Okay. Because, I know Marcus is a motorcycle aficionado and has a couple of bikes laying around the garage.
I do. A few.
But as far as that's concerned, for most of us, we're not going to use this in a follow me type of mode. Although, when I get mine, and I'm going to get the Beacon too, I'm going to go out and do some there's a real nice area of like about 4 or 5 baseball diamonds together in a development about 10 miles away that I would go to early in the morning and walk around with a Beacon just to see how well it follows me, as far as that's concerned. So, there's some things I would like to do, and that's why I want to get the Beacon. But I think for me, and I think for most consumers, most people want to have that hands-on experience with the controller. And that's why I think Skydio did very well with coming out with this with a controller. What do you think, guys?
Well, absolutely. So what I'm looking forward to with that controller is, we've all seen those fancy pull away shots where the guy, he goes through the clock tower and then, underneath the power line and then right through between a couple branches of a tree, as he's backing up the drone. Hey, we'll all be able to do that with the Skydio.
Yeah, that's true. And Bill, what I have to say about this is, you talk about the Kyle, the mountain biker getting it, and the motorcycle guys. I sure wish we made that video in Redington Beach last spring that we would have been riding bicycles over that beach. Maybe they would have saw us and sent us, 2 Skydios.
That would have been absolutely wonderful.
We should have rented bikes that day.
We should have. We absolutely should have. Although I'm not sure if Valerie and Susan would have liked us doing that, but
well, they could have, they could have filmed this and put it in fast forward so it would look like we were going real fast,
going real fast down the beach. Yeah, that would be good.
Right. We probably could just barely get it going, but we would look like we were action sports aficionados.
Okay, Mike Roach puts up, what's the point in getting the Skydio if you're not going to use it for following, especially if you already have a Mavic 2? That's a good point, Mike.
That is a good point. Well, yeah.
Go ahead,
well, I mean, if you would watch some of Kyle's videos where he shows the camera settings, I think this will be as capable as a camera drone as most out there. I mean, again, all speculation, but just from the footage I've seen from the extreme sports guys that have it, and some of the it's got 7 stops of dynamic range, that this camera may be on par with, maybe not the 1-inch Mavic 2, but maybe on par with the Mavic 2 Zoom, the Autel Evo, the current Evo, the top of the line. This camera may be right there. So, if you want a camera drone, I think you're getting that too. And, of course, you get the additional thing of having the obstacle avoidance. And even if I'm not mountain biking and follow me, what if I want to send it into a woodsy environment and I don't trust my piloting skills to do that? And I know you're going to say you could do that with the Mavic 2 as Marcus demonstrated, but the thing is you can't do it at high speed like you will be able with the Skydio. You could fly through there at a 30 miles per hour or better with this thing and get those tight shots along a riverbed with a lot of trees around. I can just take a shot that I can get with this that I can't get with any other drone in the market.
Hey, Ron. So
go ahead, Martin, take over.
Well, I just wanted to pile on to what you were saying. What you just described, I can't think of his name, but that guy who was in a tropical environment, I don't know. But
I don't know either. Right.
He did a head-to-head setup with the Skydio and with the Mavic 2, and he was a real professional photographer, and he was showing the different shots that he was able to get with the Skydio 2 and was unable to get with the Mavic 2 because of that obstacle avoidance and some very, very cinematic stuff. I apologize to the chat here. I wish I could remember his name. I'll see if I can find it.
Well, we'll try to post that video in the thing. And along with Marcus is saying here, oh man, I just lost my train of thought because I said that or whatever from that guy's video. But it's not that I really want to say follow me in particular, but I just want to get shots in tight spaces. Oh, here's what I was going to say. And like our show last night, we had John Coopy and we talked that with the Skydio 2, I may be able to get the same type of shots that the FPV guys with the goggles can get, because I'll have that, I can't fly as good as them, but Skydio Intelligence can fly as good as those guys with the goggles getting in tight spots. So I'm going to be able to maybe get some of those same type of shots.
Scouts Honor brought up a good point here. Skydio connected YouTuber admitted Skydio warranty will be void if you fly around small branches. Dirty little secret. That's interesting. I think, that's the first that I've heard anything about that. Apparently, I guess small branches, and that's something. What was it? I was going to say, I saw a video and I don't know if it was Billy or Ken or something. Oh yeah, Billy. And he just missed some power lines. Okay. I think he may have done it with the Mavic Mini and he just missed it, and he said, some of those lines are almost invisible when you're flying up in the sky. Now, I know they've built or are building in to the Matrice series the ability to detect those lines because, some of those lines are pencil thin. I mean, it's really difficult, and especially to distinguish, against the sky. I mean, depending upon the color of the sky, it's even difficult. So, I mean, that's one of the things as far as that's concerned. And I think these small branches probably pose the same kind of challenge for the Skydio 2 because it probably can't detect them and it probably can't see them. So it will probably end up running into them. But I think people are going to be pleased with the Skydio 2. I think they'll be pleased with the quality of the video they're going to get out of this. It's going to surprise a lot of people because I think a lot of people are thinking, it's going to be like Kyle. It's going to be like, I'm on a bike and it's following me, and I'm getting some great action shots. Or I'm out doing, surfing or something, or out on the water and, getting some good action shots. It will do that. But I think it will also do, what we're used to doing, especially having the remote controller with that. I think that's a key. And this drone is going to be very versatile.
The other thing though, Bill, is if you read that warranty, they're also telling you that they're not going to honor it over water too. And they're saying to use caution over water. And we all saw that one video where it almost hit the wave. What was he, a surfer or a sailboarder?
Surfer.
Yeah.
So,
in Kyle's most recent video, Bill, I think the controller in the Skydio had an amazing feature. One of the buttons on the left side of the controller was a speed boost button, Bill. And what happened, he would be flying along and he needed speed, but he didn't have to stop, switch over to sport mode. He just put his finger to the speed button and he got sport mode just for the few seconds he needed it to get the shot. I think that's an amazing feature.
Oh, I do too. We're going to switch gears here. We still got time. We're going to talk about the Mavic Mini. Now, one of the things I want to talk about here, my good friends at GPC Cases, all right, and also my other good friend who both Ron and Marcus have met in person, Barry Markowitz, the one and only Barry Markowitz, who was at Spin Up. Barry, I know you're watching. Thanks for watching tonight, okay? Got this case for the Mavic Mini, okay? Now, I have to tell you something, okay? I've always been a big fan of GPC cases. This one is incredible. And one of the things I really like about this case here, and I'm going to try to get this up here, and I'm going to do a full-on review of this. Now, there are slots for 3 batteries right here, but this also comes out. It's scored to take this out and to put the charging, base in here instead of that. It'll fit right in here. There's a slot for your phone up here, okay? There's a slot for the charging brick right here. There's a slot, SD card slot here, an extra battery if you want to get that in here. I mean, this is very comprehensive. It has the eggshell on the top here. And one of the other things I really do like what GPC does is, they will go ahead and they will label what each area is for. And I like that. A lot of cases that you get, you don't see anything like this. You'll see a warranty card or something like this, and that's about it. But they do this right here. They really do a great job. And I'm very thrilled. And again, I want to thank GPC Cases and also Barry Markowitz. And there's going to be a review coming out on this. But I got to say this, okay? Look how small this is. All right. Let's go ahead and get the Mavic. It's just kind of comparing them. It's just about maybe just a tad bit bigger. But you know what? I always like, for me personally, I like traveling with something like this because it fits in my overnight bag. I really like that. But I tell you what, for everyday use, when I go into the truck, this is what I'm going to use because it's something I can go put it in on the back seat. If it slides off the back seat and down, I'm not going to worry about it, okay? Because it's in here. It's protected very well. So I can't say enough about this, and there's going to be a review coming out on that. So,
Bill, how much does cases retail for?
That is a great question. I'm going to have to look that up because these are just like brand new. I mean, they just came out with these.
Just hit the market.
They just hit the market.
I've got a favor to ask you.
Yes, sir.
So, Boise State and Hawaii are going to be playing the championship game for the Mountain West right here in Boise. So what I'm hoping you can do is convince Barry that he's got to come to Boise to cover that game.
Yes, I think that would be fantastic. Now I do know, when is that game?
It's December, of all days, it's December 7th.
Okay. Wow. What a day. I know he's in the United States right now. I know he's over out in Los Angeles. And because I actually, and believe it or not, this is the first time I ever called anybody in Hawaii. Okay.
Oh,
never called anybody in Hawaii before, but I called Barry and I talked to him the other night. And guys, you know, maybe I'll get on my soapbox here, off my soapbox here in just a second. But Barry's the real deal. Okay, he has a wonderful heart and passion for the people out in Hawaii and American Samoa. He also has a real heart and a passion about drones and using them in news photography. And he's also very passionate about, he wants to start, he wants to get a movement to do, you guys remember Civil Air Patrol, don't you? Okay. Barry's very big about maybe starting what's called a civil drone patrol, and, you know, getting this going, getting volunteers, you know, supplementing first responders, that type of thing. There was a real tragedy out in American Samoa, and I think he probably talked about that when he was at Spin Up, about some individuals who drowned out there, and it took so long for people to get out there. And, you know, when you have volunteers in something like this, they can go out there, use their drones, help first responders, and help save lives. So, but again, I can't say enough about Barry. Barry is just, he's a great supporter of not only my channel. He supports the drone community. He absolutely loves the drone community. He was thrilled to be out at Spin Up. He looks forward to maybe meeting. He wants to meet me someday, and I said absolutely. I said,
Hey Bill, can I let you in on one little secret? I've already had a conversation with him, and I told him that if he comes to Boise, I'll take him out to the Snake River Canyon to fly.
Oh, there you go. Well, I got to tell you this. Okay, my good friend Jeff Voigt. I think you guys know who Jeff Voigt is. Okay, he's on a bunch of the groups out there. Absolutely fantastic guy. He's talking about coming out and flying out the Snake River Canyon. And I said, Jeff, I said, we just need to plan a trip. We need to coordinate with Ron to get Ron out there, and Jeff and I, and go out there. And we're gonna tear the Snake River Canyon up. I mean, it's never gonna be the same after the four of us will be out there flying our drones. That's for sure.
Well, I've got a cut. You just gave me a little soapbox to stand on here, Bill. I've got a couple videos coming out. I actually went down into the canyon here last week, and it was a beautiful blue sky day with the Mavic Mini, and I got some pretty good video down there. So I'm going to be putting those out as quick as I can get them edited.
Awesome.
And I just want to throw in, Bill, that Barry gave one of the most, I thought, passionate speeches at Spin Up this year. One of my favorites, and he spoke of you know, the getting a worldwide, or, you know, thing of drone users helping out, you know, their local towns and, you know, areas, you know, helping first responders and stuff like that. And it's a great concept, really. He just wants help, you know, getting it going, spreading the word, you know, throughout.
Absolutely. You know, one of the other things I want to talk about with the Mavic Mini here is the DJI Fly app. And I don't know if you guys have seen or not, but there's an option, and it looks like you'll be able to select more than one drone. And there's a lot of talk out that this is eventually going to replace the DJI Go 4 app. I would love it, because one of the things, go for it.
Oh, no, I'm just saying it doesn't have all the options that we have in Go 4. I know. I like Go 4.
I like Go 4 too, but I think what they're trying to do is maybe kind of gear it towards, I mean, they'll get the options in there, but I think the menu system in the DJI Fly app is fantastic. And I think if they transfer that, you know, if they bring the DJI Go 4 app, but, you know, integrate it with the Fly app and get that menu system where it's so, because there's some stuff that's so deeply embedded, you need to watch a tutorial to find it. And, you know, for us who've flown a lot, you know, a lot of times it's easy for us to find these things, but for newbies who have just, you know, bought their drone and are looking for stuff, you know, granted, you know, the Mavic Mini is going to be great because a lot of that stuff is very easy to find. But, you know, if you're like on a Mavic 2 Pro and you want to do an IMU calibration, okay, you got to look at a tutorial to do that. Even the first time, if you do a compass calibration, you got to do that. Or accessing internal storage, how to access internal storage instead of your SD card, and all this stuff. You know, it's a little complicated, and it's going through the 4 app. I mean, it's not very user friendly. All right, the Fly app is user friendly.
Can I stop you for? I want to make
Go
two
for
points. First of all, you said internal storage in the Mini.
I meant the Mavic 2.
Okay. And second of all, if you've been a camera user for your digital camera user for years, we've been dealing with these embedded menus you can never figure out on cameras over the years, and everybody promises to get better menus, and it never seems to get a whole lot better. So camera guys are used to these confusing menus. But I take Bill's point that this app is great for first timers or beginners or whatever, but anybody that wants a little bit more, really with like a few more special camera settings, which
Ron?
this doesn't have now. It doesn't mean it won't get them in future updates or whatever. But the app is good, but it's a little bit too bare bones for the user at large. Just
Ron, you just disappointed me a little bit, because I thought for sure I knew what you were going to say, and I didn't, because I know you're a big fan of the Parrot app. And
I thought of that.
Yeah, Parrot does it so well. The Parrot, I'm trying to remember what they call it, the Fly 6.
Free Flight 6.
Yeah, Free Flight 6 is it is a very intuitive, easy to navigate app, and it has all of those functions that we were talking about. And of course, that's neither here nor there with DJI, but
I mean,
it's worth mentioning.
Let me state what you were trying to say a little bit better. The Free Flight 6 has all the settings you need. It may have more camera settings than DJI drones do, but they're not. They're less levels down. Lots of things you don't have to dig one level down, where the DJI Go 4. Sometimes you're digging 3, 4, 5 levels down to get what you need, and they're not as buried in the Free Flight 6 app for the Anafi.
Something kind of one of my gripes about it, and I'm going to share my screen right here. With the Fly app, okay, and I'm being kind of, as Billy would say, I'm being a little nitpicky, but if you look up here where you're looking at some of the lettering up against the sky, like you can see the number of satellites here, the signal strength, battery, time and everything. Now this is white against a white background, and I've noticed some of the times, especially when I'm out flying, that's very difficult to pick up. Okay.
Bill, I feel so strongly about it. I've already written a complaint to DJI.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, you are ahead of me, Marcus. Yeah, that's my one bone to pick about the app. That's one of the only things I could really find. Having this white against, look at the sky here. I mean, it was a partly cloudy day, and it's like almost impossible to see. I can't see how many. So
here's what I found myself doing, Bill, and I want to know if you guys do the same thing. Okay. I would find myself tilting the gimbal down just so I could read that stuff.
I did that too, Marcus.
Yeah,
I did that too. I know exactly what you're talking about. I did the same thing.
And the hardest thing to see out of all the things is the battery life.
Yeah.
That little box or whatever. That's the hardest one to see, and that's probably the most important thing. Like, I'm always like kind of like trying to duck over like in a shady spot to get a peek at the battery life.
Well, it's like Kolsky's saying in the chat, Go 4, it's right there at the top. You can't miss it. And it's, all the way across the top.
And it's a different color than right. Everything else or whatever. Let me ask you guys this. Does the battery life, when it gets below, like we'll say it's 20% or a certain percent, does it change color at that point, or does it stay white all the way down to
red? Below 20%, it turns red.
Yeah, okay. It turns red. Yeah.
Well, then that's a good thing, and that we should be able to customize that so it turns to red even sooner.
Yeah,
especially if you're out on one of these 16-mile flights, like the Autel Evo II.
Well, the Evo will do. Yeah, wow. I'm still kind of like.
Hey, Bill, can you imagine some of those guys like Dustin Dunn doing a range test on that Autel Evo II or whatever, and then worry about battery life to make it back? Okay, it has 40. What? How many minutes of battery life?
35.
35. So when you're out at 16 miles and you got to come back 16 more miles, you gonna have enough battery juice to get back?
Yeah, that's a real good question. That's a real good question.
Well, it's a 7,200 milliamp battery. It's a big battery. Is there a drone with a bigger battery than that? 7,200 milliamps.
A lot of amps, Marcus. A lot of amps.
Hey, I want to kind of step in here. I'm just looking at the chat. Take a look at what Keith Washington.
I just saw that too. Go ahead, Marcus.
Well, I'm sorry, Bill. I didn't mean to step on you.
No, go ahead and share that, because I was going to do that too, but go for it.
Yeah. So he's saying that Parrot has got a new drone in 2020 also. So, you know, and I wouldn't doubt it. I mean, it sounds reasonable because it's, you know, the Anafi's been out for a while. So, and they've done a few iterations of the Anafi.
Hey, Marcus, I got an idea. The Anafi 2, the Autel Evo II, the Mavic 3, and all of them should show up on the same day, and we'll call it National Drone Day, and we'll all take off from work and whatever. What do you think, Bill?
I love that idea. I absolutely love that idea. Pitch that to my bosses, and maybe, you know, maybe we can get a day off.
And then you know, maybe we can have like the president of drone universe, like you know, Kelly Shores can have all three of them on a stage, and he takes them all off at the same time or something like that. I know I'm going off the rails, so sorry, Bill.
No.
I went off the rails a little bit there, but I'll tone it back down again.
No. You know, one of the other things I wanted to touch on before we close up here is, you know, Black Friday's coming up in a hurry.
Any sales on Black Friday, Bill?
Yeah, DJI is having some fantastic sales on Mavic 2, with the smart controller, the Osmo Action, I believe it's $100 off. The Osmo Pocket is $90 off. So there's a lot of good things. And DJI is having a sale on the DJI FPV system as well too. So there's a lot going on there. If you're looking to get great deals right now, and especially on probably one of the best drones that's out there, the Mavic 2, look no further than the DJI. You know, again, Ron has links, Marcus has links, I have links. You know, go for it, is what I'll tell you, because these are fantastic prices. You don't really see when DJI has these sales, they're pretty doggone serious about selling these, and they're doing real well. You know, as we mentioned earlier, the Mavic 3 is being delayed because the Mavic 2 is still doing so well. And you're getting a drone out there that there aren't, as far as consumer drones, it's probably one of the best consumer drones that's out there, the Mavic 2 Pro, as far as that's concerned.
So what you're saying is maybe a couple DJI products under the tree this year, and
there could be.
You know what I see is the best deal though at that whole Black Friday thing?
now what's the best deal, Marcus?
I think that Osmo Action for $270 is a steal.
Yeah, $100 off on that.
Yeah.
Oh, you know,
Can you recommend it, Bill?
I have to tell you this. All right, you know, this is my first action camera, and I am not disappointed in this in any way, shape, or form. It has taken some fantastic footage. I mean, I have no qualms or quarrels. And you can see I got the adapter here to get to pick up the sound. I got a Rode mic on here, and the sound has been fantastic. When the mic is facing forward, I will say.
So
that.
you look like one of those professional bloggers with that thing, whatever.
Well, it was funny because my granddaughter
on Instagram and all that.
Oh yeah, my granddaughter saw that and was it really attracted her eyes. She thought it was real interesting. We had some fun. A couple other things before we wrap things up here. You know, I hope you guys had a chance to see when we went up to Ohio. We had an absolute blast. I know I sold my son-in-law on a Mavic Mini. It's whether or not my daughter gets him one for Christmas, which I think she probably will.
Tell her to use your link.
Absolutely. We had a blast, and my granddaughter, you saw a selfie of us. So watch that video if you want to see that. That was just one of the funnest things I think we've done in a long time. And my son-in-law is very intelligent, and he knows a lot about drones. We had a great time.
I watched the video, Bill, and as soon as I saw you take the drone off and I saw the landscape, I said, "Oh, Bill's not in Florida anymore."
Nope, not in Florida anymore.
I think I saw a little snow around. I said, "Bill is not in Florida anymore."
You know, Toto, we're not in Kansas.
Yeah.
That's pretty, and it was cold. Valerie got herself a nice new winter coat at Kohl's. It was a $100 coat. She paid $50 for it. So with coupons. So she did
Kohl's cash.
Yes, Kohl's cash. Absolutely. I think we're going to see a lot of Mavic Minis under the tree this year for Christmas. I think it's going to sell very well for DJI. I think you're going to find, and I think it's going to be, and especially for us, for Ron, for Marcus, for myself, for drone reviewers out there, you know, it's going to be our time to shine, and to put Mavic Mini videos out there. They're going to help educate a lot of these new time buyers. You know I've seen a lot of people have done, and they've done great jobs. Have some beginners guides out there. continuing with this trend, I don't think there can be enough of these out there, because people are going to be looking at these on Christmas morning. And, you know, when they're opening up and they see they have a Mavic Mini, they're going to run to YouTube to see how does it work. Okay. They'll see the DJI tutorials, but then if you put together a good beginner's guide, it's going to make a difference. You know, it's going to make a difference for these people. For me, I'm going to do one, but I'm not, you know, yeah, I want to get views. Obviously, we all want to get views. All right. But I think the thing with this is I want to be able to say that I've educated people. One of the videos I'm really proud of, and it's got about 4,500 or so views, was how to put the door on the Osmo Action. Okay. There was nothing out there on that. There was how to do it on the GoPro Hero, which is the same way, but nobody on the Osmo Action. I get at least 10 to 15 comments a week on that. Bill, thank you. And these are people from all around the world. I mean, it's just not here in the United States. You know, thank you. You saved my hide. I had one literally say, I was ready to throw it across the room until I came across your video. Okay. You know, so, and this is one of the good things I think we do on YouTube. Okay. Is we go out there and that's one of the goals of this channel. And I know it's the same with Ron and with Marcus, is to help educate people and help them make informed decisions about buying drones. I think, you know, these guys would agree with me on that.
And I agree with you, Bill, that I think the Mavic Mini will be, it'll eventually be the best-selling drone of all time in units. Well, maybe it won't be some toy drone like the SEMA X5, but it'll be the best-selling
as camera drones, as a stabilized camera drone.
Yeah,
Ron.
It'll be, and it won't even be close. It may only take 6 months to eclipse. Bill, take just a wild guess. I know we don't know numbers. What do you think the best-selling camera drone of all time is? Like the Phantom 3 Pro or something like that? Or
that is a great question. That is an absolutely great question.
Phantom 3 standard. I'm just thinking of some drone that everybody had at one point.
You know, I'd have to give some thought on that. What about you, Marcus?
I was typing. I wasn't listening. What'd you say?
Best-selling drone of all time.
Oh, you. In other words, you're saying that.
Well, what do you think currently is? What do you think the
currently
best-selling camera drone of all time is now? I threw out. We think maybe a Phantom 3 of some sort, or
yeah, or I don't know, the Mavic 2. If you combined both Mavic 2s, the Pro and the Zoom together, boy, they've sold a bunch of those.
But you think even at that high price?
Yeah, and the original Mavic Pro. Holy cow, those things are everywhere.
Yeah, Lon put Mavic Pro in there, and Scouts Honor Mavic Pro. You know what, Ron? I'm gonna say Mavic Pro.
That's a real good guess.
Hey, hold it. Keith said something here. Think about this. Keith Washington says the Spark. Maybe. There's a lot of those out there.
Could be. And I remember a lot of people had the Phantom 3 standard. I remember one, was it 2 or 3 years ago? Best Buy had it for like $3.99 on Black Friday, and everybody went out and bought that Phantom 3 standard. I mean, like, we know Sean Matthews has the Phantom 3 standard. We know so many people that they either have had the Phantom 3 or you've had the Phantom 3 standard, right, Marcus?
Yeah. I bought a Phantom 3 standard, and obviously that's how I got to know Sean Matthews, was looking at his how-to videos. That's what Bill was talking about.
And because of the price, it was like for a long time, it was $3.99.
No, that's right. That's what got me into GPS drones. Hey, instead of $1,000, it was something. Okay, I can try this hobby at $400. It's very different than spending $1,000.
Mel said Phantom 4 Pro. Kolsky said Spark. I
like Stephen Ewing's answer.
What do you say?
He says the Karma.
The Karma. GoPro.
Well, Brian Singleton was in here. He flew the Karma at the lake 2 times recently.
Yeah, I saw that.
And it handled the wind well.
Yeah, it did. It really did. Gentlemen, let's go with closing thoughts and wishing happy Thanksgiving to everyone here in the United States. Either you two go first, and I'll close things out.
Hey, I'll go first, Ron.
Okay.
So I just want to remind everybody, Coast to Coast Drones, Drone Therapy. I'll be on there tomorrow night with John Coopy, talking about Black Friday deals. I don't know how many there'll be, but it should be an interesting show. So I believe it is, I'd have to look up the time now. I'm going to stick my foot in my mouth. 6 p.m. my time, I think.
8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Perfect. So 6:30 Mountain Time. So figure it out from there. And then, but other than that, everybody, please stay safe. We've got a winter storm throughout the United States right now. So everybody stay safe out on the highways and have a really great Thanksgiving.
Thank you, Marcus. That was it was very nice, and you be safe if you travel at all for Thanksgiving this year, because I know you could be in the heart of a big storm. So you be safe if you venture out. But I just want to say it's great to be on the show. Great conversation. We had a lot to talk about. I just blown away by the Autel Evo. I'll say news, rumors, speculation, however you want to, whatever you want to say. And we're still on pins and needles waiting for our Skydio emails, and we're flying those little mini all over the place. I mean, I know how Bill always says it's a great day to fly. Well, it's a great time to be a drone buyer right now, because we all year long we've been kind of slim pickings or whatever. It was kind of like fly what you got or whatever. But now the options are coming up, and they're coming up fast and furious. So I said it's an exciting time. So on that note, I want to wish you guys on the show a great Thanksgiving. Everybody in chat a Thanksgiving. All the ZinoNation fans a great Thanksgiving. I hope the weather's good enough that you can travel, to be with your loved ones and spread joy and everything. And now that I've spread all this good karma around, I'm gonna throw it back to Bill. He's going to close this great show out and start preparing the turkey.
No, that's not my not my gig this year. But first of all, I want to say a special shout out to my mother-in-law. She had a procedure today, had a stent put in her heart, and she's doing very well, staying in the hospital overnight, coming home tomorrow. Mom, we're so glad you did well, and we're thankful to get you back, and look forward to seeing you for Thanksgiving. I wanted to give a special shout out for her. She's very special, considering my mother passed away in 2013. Valerie's folks mean the world to me, so I'm very happy that we have them. We had a lot to talk about tonight, guys. I mean, this was jam packed tonight. I mean, we really covered all the bases. I could not be happier. And you guys help make the show, all of you who watch this show, and your great comments and your support and your fantastic chat night in and night out when you guys are here. Every single one of you contributed in some way to this show, and you really help make it. And this show would be absolutely nothing without these two gentlemen here. And so a happy Thanksgiving to Ron and Susan, to Marcus and Sarah, and also to my beautiful wife. A happy Thanksgiving to her, to my children. I know they're probably not watching, but anyway, and to my precious granddaughter, my first, her first Thanksgiving, and to think about what it is, for us here in the United States, this day was set aside to give thanks. And I hope no matter where you are, that you're able to do that safely, that you travel safely, and that you remember, we have a lot of fun here. We do talk about a lot of stuff, but I think bottom line is we really care about each other. We're really one big family here, and let's do more of that this year. Let's share that love, and let's have a lot of fun. The holidays are coming up. Christmas is coming up. There's going to be a lot of drone gifts under the Christmas tree. I know I've been good, so I'm hoping Santa's going to drop a lot of those under the tree for me. We have our days of Christmas coming up, and Ron and Marcus are going to be a part of that. We're going to have a blast. It's just a ton of fun. Going to be giving away a lot of great stuff. So stay tuned for all that. Guys, thank you all so much for tuning in. Happy Thanksgiving. And remember, it's a great day to fly. Take care, everybody.